We'll just call it.
All right, we're live.
Okay, we're gonna call to order Regional School District 13 Policy Committee, August 19, 2026 at 4 p.m. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any public comment? No one in the room?
Nobody online.
Okay. All right. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
I guess I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of June 17, 2026?
So moved.
Any discussion? Oh, well, I'll second it. Sorry, I'm gonna second it. Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. Okay, all right, so first one is to review policy field trips 6153.
Right, so this is one that we looked at earlier, and what we wanted to do is have we wanted to go back and make some of the edits that we talked about at the last meeting. And in addition, we wanted to make sure that leadership team had the opportunity to look it over. So what you're seeing in your packet, the blue is what we've added based on the conversation. Obviously, the red cross out is things that we've eliminated. And then we've added in, I'll just quickly review, we added just a quick definition of how field trips are different than athletics. This policy, we added in language just that we're going to align to the new fundraising policy 5325. We added the right to cancel trips for various costs and about if funds can be returned or when they can be returned. We added in a little bit about the application process and board approval and superintendent approval. The 45-day and the 90 days stayed the same. Let's see, we added in a note about checking district insurance. We stated that chaperones, and when you're looking at chaperones and supervision, they have to align to the new policy for volunteers. And then when we get into regulations for approvals, we added coordination with the food service department, coordination with the school nurse. For transportation, we added that we want to try to use DATCO or whoever our school contracted bus services first, and then go to either a charter or another company. No students are permitted to transport themselves. And then they said, you know, obviously in rare cases with extenuating circumstances, please contact the building principal for approval. Student need may dictate alternative transportation. We just added in that basically you need to adhere to all RSD 13 policies on field trips. We added recommended ratios for supervision, which pre-K 2 is 1 to 5. And these are 1 to 5 chaperones, not necessarily employees. Grades 3 to 5, 1 to 10, grades 6 to 8, 1 to 15, grades 9 to 12, 1 to 20. We added in for water safety that in addition to those ratios, whenever somebody is in, on, or around or a body of water, they will have lifeguards. Pre-K to 5 would be 1 to 15. And 6 to 12 would be 1 to 30. And then we just put in a note about other factors that might increase risk. And then we just put in a note there that life jackets shall be required to be for any activity on the water. Students under 12 must wear the life jacket when state law requires. So state law dictates when students under 12 are required to have a life jacket on. We added in a paragraph about nursing supervision.
Or if it's swimming.
If it's swimming, no, then they wouldn't have to wear a life jacket if they're actually swimming. But we also need to, we're adding into the permission form that that swimming level kind of general thing, and we're adding the lifeguards. But the law doesn't dictate that when kids are swimming under 12, they have to have a life jacket on. Nursing supervision, and then just designating that there's one trip leader Additional safety measures, we added that printed emergency medical cards have to be carried on all trips because we have had instances where there wasn't internet access or somebody's phone was down, so they actually have to take printed emergency cards. And that the school nurse is going to create first aid kits that go with the team leader on every trip. One of the questions, I know we talked a lot about water safety.
Yeah.
One of the questions that came up is like, if the kids are going to, the ocean tide pooling and they're near, like they're next to water, do we have to get lifeguards? I don't know, I mean, I think there should be some discretion in terms of that. They're not supposed to be in the water, but they're ankle deep in water. But if we have the right number of chaperones, I think when we're talking about having lifeguards, we're talking about somebody's going kayaking,
So I think
somebody's
it's like
going.
water activities.
activity.
Like I wouldn't think of that as a water activity. Like
Right.
to me, it's like the kayaking or like I think at Camp
beach
Jewel they
trip.
swim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or I think water activity.
Mhm.
You still have to be careful even in ankle deep water, kids could get knocked down.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And-
Yeah.
Yeah, the life jacket's
They're
not
not
gonna help
noticing,
you.
they don't need life jackets. I'm talking about in terms of the chaperone and monitoring the kids.
Yeah.
That's where the
Yeah,
responsibility.
well, and now I think having like the ratios there and having a different ratio for
Yeah.
water related, safety, I think is important,
Right.
So we put in here, is this enough? The leader of the trip will need to ensure that for any activity in or on the water, there are the following number of lifeguards.
Mhm.
Does that work?
Yeah, I think that works.
And we just said other factors that could increase risk, type and depth of water, the activity, special needs students, et cetera. We might increase that number.
Yeah, medical stuff.
Yeah. Mhm. So for nursing supervision, we said, school nurses or per diem contracted nurses shall accompany field trips where identified medical needs cannot be met under school employee or parent guardian supervision. So, there are certain cases where an administrator or a chaperone can actually dispense meds, and we have all the paperwork for that. And this would really be where, and we do have a couple of cases where there are very specific needs where a nurse needs to be there, like a type 1 diabetic,
Yeah.
we're gonna need somebody to be there.
And so like in that example,
I'm s-
would there, no, go ahead. We all do it, but so in that example of, let's just take someone who might be a type 1 diabetic and they're going on the
Sure.
Spain trip.
We'll join us in 10 minutes. Let's get
Okay.
help and work.
Okay.
On Zoom.
Would that be cost prohibitive
Mm.
though? Like, that's my only word, because I would never want to exclude a student because we've now done this trip and you're
Mhm.
perfectly capable of going, but
Mhm.
you need that extra supervision, but like sending a nurse
Mhm.
might be very, or like, I don't know, is there like a way then to be creative of like, well, there's a nurse that they
Yeah.
also count as a chaperone,
Right. There is, and I also, well, we could do that, but I also think that a lot will depend on the individual care plan,
Yeah,
right? So, we don't have a nurse following a student all day in their school
Yes,
plan, right?
yeah.
And how close are they to emergency facilities? Like,
Yeah.
how close are they? What does the parent think is
Yeah.
appropriate?
well,
You know,
yeah.
what does their watch say about glucose levels, those kind of things. So I think everything should go back to that care plan
Yeah,
that the parent and the nurse agree on.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Overnight is, we don't have a care plan for overnight though.
They do.
They should have it.
Mhm.
Yeah, they
do.
actually do.
We do, yeah.
And
Okay.
I only know, because it's gonna be my first experience with the whole Camp Jewel trip,
Mhm.
but, having a child who does take medication, like I had to do a whole, because she doesn't have it for school, but she's
Yeah.
going to need it for
Overnight,
being
yeah.
overnight.
Mhm.
So I had to do like a whole thing, like with the doctor. So it was almost like the reverse of
Mhm.
what you're saying. So,
Mhm.
they do ask, but yeah, I was just kind of curious, like, well, would we run into any issues of, if it was cost prohibitive to send a nurse, would we still do the field trip?
Yeah. I mean, we don't have a ton of overnight and
Yeah, no.
away. I just think that I would always err on the side of caution of making sure that we have that nurse if we need it.
Yeah.
And we would never exclude a student from a trip because
Well,
of that.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, my
I'd
other,
rather pay for the nurse.
Well, the senior trip to Washington is 3 nights.
Mhm. And it depends on who goes on that trip,
Right, yeah.
right? If we don't have anybody who has a care plan, you know, we might be fine, or the care plans are simple where any teacher or chaperone can do it, or there could be a parent going
I doubt we ever sent a nurse.
to DC.
Yeah,
I don't know.
oh, so I guess is that like, I guess that is still an option where, you know, obviously if a parent felt uncomfortable but wanted their child to participate, you know, they could accompany and be one of
Yeah.
the chaperones
Yeah.
too.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mhm.
And a lot of times they will do that.
Yeah. Okay.
we've had, kids had to leave and get a ride home
Mhm.
Mhm.
from Washington.
You mean because of discipline?
Yeah,
Oh, well, actually, so going to discipline, there was a sentence in there, I think it was, sorry, because I wrote it down.
Is that the last
Something
page?
about, yeah, I think it
Administrative
was,
screening?
yeah,
Yeah.
and any decision to exclude a student
Mhm.
from the trip or include additional safety measures, you know, but whereas in any decision to exclude a student, I just wasn't sure if we needed to expand on that at all, because I know that there have been sometimes issues with, you know, kids facing disciplinary action and not being able to participate.
Yes.
So do we need to expand at all, or keeping it general is like, okay?
Well, I know, I mean, we did have this situation this year in my first year.
Mhm.
And I do know that we will always err on trying to get the student to go. So sometimes there are things that the student has to do or correct or anything, or we make accommodations or something. There are certain cases where, for example, the DC trip where somebody gets suspended, they can't go.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how much you want to outline that. I mean, we could outline that.
so the suspension would say you can't go on the school activities, so.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and it was just more like a question, like I'm fine keeping it the way it was,
Okay.
it was just like a
Mhm.
curious question of like, do we or do we not want to, and I'm fine with that too.
Yeah. I mean, every case is gonna be different. It's gonna depend on, I mean, the suspension is pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah.
But other discipline, the principals will do what they always do, which is they'll look at the history.
Yeah,
You know, is this something all the time? Is this gonna be a safety concern for other
Mhm.
kids? Is this gonna put somebody
Yeah.
in danger? Is it
Yeah.
going to, you know?
Yeah.
All of those things.
The problem that comes in when you start to define specific things, then there's always something that's excluded. So
Mhm.
they assume that because it's not there,
Yeah,
therefore it doesn't count. So sometimes it's better to leave it open.
Mhm.
I think that covers everything. Huh?
yeah, I think so,
This one is good that we did. It did need cleaning up. There's no question about it.
yeah.
Do you want to send this one forward?
Yeah, I think we're
Yeah.
good to send that one
Mhm.
forward now.
I think it is good.
I won't, oh, you know what I should have said was, Bob, if you're okay with it, because I'm not at the September 10th meeting where this will be recorded, if you don't
I'll take it.
mind
Yeah, no,
doing me the honor.
not too hard.
Yes, thank you. Okay, all right, next up is meal charging.
There are two here. Two additional statements here that came out as a result of our food service audit. I'll pull this up just in case. We do have somebody online now, so let me
Tim.
go ahead and, it's not,
Huh?
it's not,
Oh.
but I just want to go ahead and make sure that I share it for anybody who's online. Okay.
The charge of
Okay.
adult meals.
Yeah. So a charging of adult meals is unallowable. And then the other one that we highlighted is by June 30th of each year, all unpaid meal debt will be reimbursed by the Board of Education funds and not the nonprofit school food service account. We just needed to add those two
Why
things.
is
then.
charging of adult meals unallowable?
Um,
Because of the federal grant?
yes, because of the food service program is that we shouldn't be kind of front loading any food for adults in the building and letting them charge. They should be just paying. And most times they
Okay.
have an account.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm sorry, I think I'm just slightly confused. So we do charge staff for lunches,
Mhm,
but this is saying charging of adult meal is unallowable.
mhm.
So that's saying we don't charge them?
We do charge them.
We do, okay.
Mhm.
They just can't credit.
Yeah, they
Charge.
just have to have money in their account.
They just,
Right.
oh, okay, all right, so, okay, so they need to have money in their account.
Right.
No, okay, all right, I think maybe
This
the,
is like crediting instead of
Yes.
charging.
yeah, I
So
think
maybe-
it's confusing.
Maybe I'll
when
ask
it says-
them if we can restate that.
Yeah, I think it's like credit.
You know, maybe it's because I'm a finance person.
Yes.
It's the
Yeah.
word unallowable.
Yes.
That's what it is. Like,
Yeah.
that's, I think, tripping me up a little bit.
Okay, let me
Um,
talk to Kim and see if we can rephrase that one.
okay. But I understand it now. So yeah, I think if we just tweak it, I think we'll be fine there.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other thing
They
was,
just say adults are not allowed to be on the student meal accounts, something like that.
Well, see, an adult, they'd have an account, right? It just has to be funded, you know,
Yes,
they
it is.
can't go in the hole and, you know, we give it like, in the old days, we gave them a salt butter sandwich.
Debt.
Yeah, we don't want to be chasing adults for their accounts. We don't want our food service department to be doing that.
Right.
Yeah. And then the only other one was, you know, according to our audit, we needed to make sure that by June 30th, the board does the food service transfer.
okay,
They want everything closed and done by June 30th.
yeah, then that
That's-
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the two things for meal charging policy.
Okay, all right, so that one's good there. And then board budget procedures and line item transfers.
I don't get the first paragraph of that.
Okay, let me open it. I was going through my phone with them. Oh, wait,
This
no.
is an updated policy from Shipman.
Yeah, but I don't think it applies to us, the first paragraph.
You mean this paragraph up here, the note to client?
Yeah,
Yeah, to the fiscal
submission
authority.
to the fiscal authority, board of finance, board of selectmen, town council, or the. We don't do that.
Because we're regional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
our current policy doesn't say anything about that.
Okay, so change this to, just revert this to the current policy, because we're regional.
Yeah, I mean, it includes this other stuff, but I think it's 3160 or something like that.
Mhm.
I was looking it up. Yeah,
Okay,
because we don't report that to anybody,
right,
and they're not gonna give us an appropriation.
okay. Yes, that's true.
Mm,
Okay, the
I hate to
blue,
have them see that.
the next, did you read this? This is an additional paragraph from Shipman. This is each fiscal year, the board shall compile and submit to the Connecticut Department of Education, exclusive bargaining representative, et cetera, et cetera. Because that's a new law.
So this one, when it says exclusive bargaining representative, that means the unions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we have to give this to the Department of State, Department of Ed and the
Yeah.
union.
And they've already, like this, they've already reached out this year, like whenever we do any kind of new negotiations or anything like that, they are asking for financial accounting.
The union is,
Oh, Bob, did you see there's a regional board version?
no, I didn't get that far.
So that's probably what you're talking about. This is the regional board version.
I got stopped at that first paragraph.
Okay. And it's not in the regional one, so we're good. But it's got the same one about the collective bargaining
Oh, I didn't get that far. What did it say?
and reserve funds. Hold on. Let's do the reserve funds, because this is. I apologize, because what I should have done is take out the
No,
first
that's
one
okay.
and just done the
I
regional.
just didn't
part.
go far
I
enough.
didn't realize that Shipman sent them all together.
Yeah, I just didn't read far enough.
Oh, either did I.
So this paragraph here with each fiscal year, the board shall compile, are they talking about the the fund, the extra fund that we have, our, what do they call it, the unexpended, the fund that we pull from,
Fund balance.
the fund balance, is that what they're talking about here?
Well, let's go to reserve funds. Which is towards the end, Because I
Are you in
think
the first
this-
one or the second one?
the second one.
Okay,
Each fiscal year, the board shall make available and annually update information regarding the reserve fund for educational expenditures, including but not limited to the total balance of the fund, the amount deposited into such fund in a fiscal year, and an accounting of the expenditures made from such fund. Not later than 30 days from the adoption of the board's budget, the board shall notify the exclusive bargaining representatives for certified employees of 1, the establishment of the reserve fund for educational expenditures, or 2, the board's intended uses for the fund during the next fiscal year. So I feel, I mean, this is in there by law, but I also feel like we do this as a regular practice anyway. I mean, we're pretty transparent about what all our fund balance is, if there's anything in capital reserve, if there's anything, like we put all of that out during the budget season. So I don't think we need to do anything different in practice. I think this just has to be in the policy.
now is this gonna involve any additional work on Kim's part, or
No.
like you said, it's
We do this
it's
anyway.
already being done?
When
Okay.
we do the budget, do we send a copy of the budget to the bargaining unit representatives? Cause that might be the only kind of ad based on this language that I would see.
I mean, technically we do because we send it to every employee, like everybody gets an update on where we are with the budget. So I would say, yes, we do.
I mean, if we send the budget out, like to all staff, then I would say you're covered, you
Right.
know, if not, you could just write a separate email and say, here's the budget for the year, we all find this information.
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
Pretty simple, but you know,
Yeah.
some legislation changed and we have to have the language in there explicitly.
Apparently, some unions never saw how much was in fund balance. They wanted to find it.
Somebody must have thought it was a secret account.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe certain towns.
Tim's here.
So we don't use the first one, we use the. regional
Second one.
school district.
okay,
And what I'll do is I'll eliminate the first one, which I would
Yeah.
have done this time.
Yeah.
I'll eliminate the
Not in
first
the
one,
package,
yeah,
yeah.
and then I'll just
Right,
make
Tim.
sure that we get that out for the first reading.
Aye.
That's my
How
fault.
we doing?
We just went over the field trips, added some language to basically protect the kids. And then when
meal charging.
meal charging, and now we're just doing financial stuff from reporting required by the STIP and by law.
Meal charging and the line item transfers are updated just because of legislation, and the field trip policy was the one that we just had more significant cleanup on.
Nothing too exciting, we're just moving forward to the full board on the 10th.
Yeah, no, I know. I saw we work on policy too at our district, so I get it.
Okay.
I think everybody uses the shipment, right? So, or a lot of districts use the shipment, so they send the updated stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
Shipment or Cape
Yeah,
are
one or
like
the
the
other.
two, yeah, that we use, I think, probably 99% of the time.
Shipment.
Yeah.
No. Okay, all right, so we're gonna move those 3 policies forward to the September 10th.
Yep.
Meeting.
And then we'll choose the next 3. And then we'll see what happened in legislation and updates this year.
I know.
Never stops.
No, it doesn't, because I mean, all the work we've done on it for the last, couple of years, and
Right.
I'm saying, oh my God, there's more,
Yeah.
there's more.
Yeah.
They keep coming back.
One of the ones I'd like to
That's
bring to
all right.
policy committee next, just to give you a heads up,
Yeah.
is the student medication policy.
Yeah,
Because when we're looking at field trips and we
Yeah.
started looking at medication, we have some updates legislatively for that one. So I think we should
Okay.
prioritize that next time.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
The meeting's September 9th.
Any other hot ticket policies?
Not right now.
Okay. All right, well then, any public comment? I know you said there was one person online.
Any public comment, please raise your hand.
Okay, and that there's no one here.
No.
So then I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Got 3 votes now.
Okay,
Thanks for jumping
Thanks,
on.
Tim.
Sorry to tell you.
Yeah, no, sorry. I got home late today. You know, it's, the difficult part is I still can't drive. So I'm at the mercy of whenever anybody can pick me up